Listen to me carefully. This isn't something people usually say out loud, and there's a reason for that. Because the moment you understand it, you start seeing things differently. Right now, somewhere near you, there's a coin that doesn't look important. It's small. It's common. It feels like nothing. And that's exactly why it gets ignored. Every single day, people throw these coins away without thinking. Into jars. Into machines. Into someone else's hands. Gone just like that. But here's what most people never realize. Not every coin is just a coin. Some carry details, tiny, almost invisible differences that completely change what they are. Coins like the Lincoln wheat penny. They don't stand out. They don't try to get your attention. They wait. And only the people who stop, who actually look, are the ones who notice. Because the truth is hidden in the smallest things. A number. A mark. A slight variation most people miss. And while everyone else is rushing, spending, ignoring, there are people who know exactly what they're looking for. They don't talk about it loudly. They don't make it obvious. They just watch and wait. And when they see the right coin, they don't let it go. Now here's the uncomfortable part. You might have already had one. You might have already spent it. And you didn't even pause. That's how easily something slips away. Not with a big mistake, but with a quiet one. So before you ignore another coin, before you assume it's nothing, stop. Take a second. Look closer than you normally would. Because sometimes the difference between worthless and valuable is just one small detail. And most people, they never see it. The story of the 1951 wheat penny begins with one of the most familiar, yet deeply historical coins ever created, the Lincoln wheat penny. At a glance, it may look like just another small copper coin, but behind its simple appearance lies a powerful connection to mid-20th century America. This coin was part of everyday life at a time when the world was recovering from war and stepping into a new modern age. On the front of the coin is the unmistakable face of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity and resilience. His portrait had already been on the penny for over 4 decades by 1951, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage. The wheat ears on the reverse, simple yet elegant, framed the identity of the coin and gave it its popular name. The D mint mark on the 1951 penny tells an important part of its story. It was struck at the Denver Mint. During that year, the Denver Mint produced a massive number of pennies, meaning the 1951 D is not rare in the traditional sense. Millions were released into circulation, passing through countless hands in shops, streets, and homes across America. This is where the dream begins to clash with reality. The idea that a 1951 wheat penny could make someone a billionaire overnight is exciting, but it is not grounded in how coin values actually work. Most of these coins, especially those that show wear from circulation, are worth only a small amount, often just a few cents to a couple of dollars. But that does not mean the coin is without importance. In fact, its value can rise significantly depending on its condition. A 1951 penny that has been preserved in near-perfect shape, free from scratches, with strong details and original shine, can be worth far more. High-grade examples are sought after by collectors who aim for perfection. The color of the coin also plays a major role in its desirability. Freshly minted pennies had a bright red copper appearance, but over time they darken into brown. Coins that still retain that original red glow are much rarer and can command higher prices. A fully red 1951 penny in pristine condition can be surprisingly valuable compared to its worn counterparts. There is also the possibility of minting errors, which add a layer of excitement to coin collecting. While the 1951 is not widely known for dramatic errors, subtle varieties like double dies or unusual strikes can exist. These small imperfections can turn an ordinary coin into something collectors actively search for. The fascination with coins like this often comes from the idea that something small and overlooked might hold hidden wealth. Stories spread about rare coins selling for huge amounts, and these stories grow larger with time. While there is some truth behind them, they usually involve extremely rare pieces, not common circulation coins. Historically, 1951 was a time of growth and stability in the United States. The country was entering the post-war economic boom, and coins like this were part of everyday transactions during that era. Each penny from that year carries a silent record of those times, making it more than just currency. Collectors often examine fine details to determine value. The sharpness of Lincoln's features, the clarity of the wheat ears, and the absence of wear all contribute to a coin's grade. These details may seem small, but they are the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth significantly more. Professional grading has also become an important factor. When a coin is authenticated and graded by a recognized service, its value becomes clearer in the marketplace. A certified high-grade 1951 D penny is far more attractive to serious buyers than an ungraded one. The emotional side of coin collecting cannot be ignored. There is a certain thrill in holding a piece of history, in imagining where it has been and who might have used it. That emotional connection often matters just as much as the financial value. If you own a 1951 D wheat penny, the best approach is careful observation. Check its condition, its color, and any unusual features. While it is unlikely to be worth a fortune, it could still be a meaningful and collectible piece. The idea that you should never spend it because it might change your life overnight is more of a captivating story than a common reality. True million-dollar coins exist, but they are extraordinarily rare and well documented. The 1951 D penny, while historic, is not typically one of them. In the end, the 1951 D wheat penny offers something more lasting than the dream of instant billions. It offers a connection to history, a glimpse into another era, and the quiet excitement of discovery. Its real value is not in exaggerated promises, but in the story it carries and the curiosity it inspires. Next up, the story of the 1954 D wheat penny begins with a coin that looks ordinary but carries a deep historical echo, the Lincoln wheat penny. For decades, this small copper coin moved quietly through everyday life. Yet behind its simple design lies a connection to an entire era of American growth, industry, and change. It is a reminder that even the smallest objects can hold powerful stories. At the center of the coin is the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, a figure chosen not just for recognition, but for meaning. Since 1909, Lincoln's image had symbolized unity and perseverance, and by 1954, his presence on the penny had become part of daily American identity. The wheat ears on the reverse side added a sense of simplicity and tradition, tying the coin to agriculture and stability. The D Mint mark on the 1954 penny reveals its origin at the Denver Mint. This facility produced hundreds of millions of pennies that year, meaning the 1954 D is not rare in the usual sense. It was created in vast quantities to meet the needs of a booming economy, where coins were essential for everyday transactions. This is where imagination often takes over. The idea that this coin could make someone a billionaire overnight is captivating, but it does not reflect how coin collecting truly works. Most 1954 D wheat pennies found today are common and worth only a small amount above their face value, especially if they show signs of wear. Yet, hidden within this ordinary appearance is the possibility of something more. Value in coins is shaped by condition, and a 1954 D penny that has survived in exceptional condition can be far more desirable. Coins that show no wear, with sharp details and clean surfaces, can reach significantly higher prices than their circulated counterparts. One of the most important factors is color. When these pennies were first minted, they had a bright red copper shine. Over time, exposure to air and handling turned most of them brown. A 1954 D penny that still retains its original red luster is much rarer and more valuable, often attracting serious collectors who appreciate its preserved beauty. There is also the intriguing possibility of minting errors. While the 1954 D is not widely known for major error varieties, small imperfections like doubled lettering or unusual strikes can occur. These tiny differences can turn an otherwise common coin into something collectors actively seek, adding an element of surprise to the search. The fascination surrounding coins like this often comes from stories. Stories of rare finds, unexpected discoveries, and life-changing values. These stories spread quickly and grow larger over time, creating the belief that any old coin might hold unimaginable wealth. While there is a hint of truth in rare cases, most coins remain grounded in more modest values. Historically, 1954 was a time of steady progress in the United States. The country was expanding economically, and coins like this were part of daily commerce, used in stores, vending machines, and everyday exchanges. Each coin carries a trace of those moments, a quiet connection to a different way of life. Collectors pay close attention to details that others might overlook. The sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the clarity of the wheat stalks, and the absence of scratches all contribute to a coin's grade. These details determine whether a coin is considered average or exceptional, and they play a major role in its market value. Professional grading has added another layer to the coin world. When in 1954, D penny is authenticated and graded by a recognized service, its value becomes clearer and more trusted. High-grade certified coins often attract more attention and can achieve higher prices among serious collectors. There is also an emotional side to owning such a coin. It is not just about money. It is about holding a piece of history. A coin from 1954 has passed through decades, surviving changes in technology, culture, and economy. That sense of continuity gives it a meaning beyond its monetary worth. If you have a 1954 D wheat penny, the best approach is careful examination. Look at its condition, its color, and any unusual features. While it is unlikely to be worth a fortune, it could still be a valuable addition to a collection or a small but meaningful find. The idea that you should never spend it because it might change your life overnight is more of a powerful narrative than a common reality. True million-dollar coins exist, but they are extremely rare and usually well-known. The 1954 D penny, while historic, does not typically fall into that category. In the end, the 1954 D wheat penny offers something quieter but lasting. It offers history you can hold, a glimpse into another time, and the thrill of possibility. Its true value lies not in exaggerated promises, but in the story it carries and the curiosity it inspires in those who take a closer look. Next up, the story of the 1956 wheat penny without a mint mark begins with a coin so ordinary in appearance that most people would never look at it twice. The Lincoln wheat penny. Yet hidden behind that quiet simplicity is a deep connection to American history, craftsmanship, and the powerful human fascination with hidden value. This coin belongs to the final years of the wheat penny era, a time just before a major design change reshaped the cent forever. At the center of the coin is the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln, a figure chosen not only for recognition, but for symbolism. Since 1909, his portrait had stood for unity, resilience, and leadership. By 1956, his image on the penny had become so familiar that it blended into everyday life, yet it still carried a powerful historical presence every time the coin changed hands. The absence of a mint mark on a 1956 penny tells its own story. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. For many collectors, this small detail sparks curiosity, but in reality, Philadelphia produced enormous quantities of pennies. The 1956 no-mint mark penny was made in the hundreds of millions, meaning it is far from rare in the general sense. This is where imagination often takes over. The idea that such a coin could instantly make someone a billionaire is exciting, almost cinematic, but it does not reflect how coin values actually work. Most 1956 wheat pennies found today are common and typically worth only a small premium over face value, especially if they show wear from circulation. However, the real story begins when you look closer. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A 1956 penny that has survived in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and minimal marks, can be far more valuable than an average one. These high-grade coins are rare because most were used heavily in everyday transactions. One of the most captivating features of these coins is their color. When freshly minted, they had a bright, glowing red copper surface. Over time, exposure to air and handling caused most of them to turn brown. Coins that still retain that original red luster are highly prized, and a fully red 1956 penny in top condition can command impressive prices. There is also the subtle world of minting imperfections. While the 1956 penny is not widely known for dramatic error varieties, small anomalies like doubled lettering or unusual strikes can occur. These details may be difficult to spot, but they can significantly increase a coin's desirability among collectors. The fascination with coins like this often comes from stories. Stories of rare discoveries, unexpected fortunes, and overlooked treasures. These stories spread quickly, sometimes growing beyond reality, creating the belief that any old coin might hold unimaginable wealth. While rare coins do exist, they are the exception, not the rule. Historically, 1956 was a time of stability and growth in the United States. The country was thriving economically, and coins like this were part of daily life, used in shops, vending machines, and small purchases. Each penny carries a silent memory of those everyday moments, making it more than just currency. Collectors pay close attention to fine details that most people would never notice. The sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the clarity of the wheat stalks, and the overall quality of the strike all play a role in determining value. These small features can make a significant difference in how a coin is judged. Professional grading has added another dimension to coin collecting. When a 1956 penny is authenticated and graded by a recognized service, its value becomes more established. High-grade certified coins often attract serious collectors and can achieve higher prices in the market. There is also an emotional connection that cannot be ignored. Holding a coin from 1956 is like holding a piece of time. It has passed through decades, through countless hands, surviving changes in society and technology. That sense of continuity gives it a meaning that goes beyond money. If you own a 1956 wheat penny with no mint mark, the best step is careful examination. Look at its condition, its color, and any unusual features. While it is unlikely to be worth a fortune, it could still be a valuable collectible or a meaningful piece of history. The idea that you should never spend it because it might change your life overnight is a powerful narrative, but it is not a common reality. True million-dollar coins are extremely rare and usually well known among collectors. The 1956 penny, while historic, does not typically fall into that category. In the end, the 1956 no-mint mark wheat penny offers something quieter but lasting. It offers history you can hold, a glimpse into a different era, and the thrill of possibility. Its true value lies not in exaggerated promises, but in the story it carries and the curiosity it inspires when someone finally takes the time to look closely.